Good morning, Copers. Good morning, guys. How are you doing? It is Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. And not a lot going on out there. I'm not going to lie. There's not a lot. Kind of a slow news day. We're going to look at some stupid videos and just kill time. So don't say I didn't warn you. Let's get into it. Let's just get it over with. Probably won't be a super long show today. Nick Fuentes posted on his Telegram about his clubbing experience. He says, "Be me, dragged to the club for the first time by my friends, stand there awkwardly drinking Red Bull. The DJ plays my favorite song, This Isn't So Bad. JPEG. Start to crack a smile. Banned from Miami Beach, disavowed by the mayor of the city on the local news." I missed that, but okay. 3 employees get fired, incident condemned by the ADL. My feeling when. It is funny when you put it that way. Just all that over a song from one of the biggest musical artists currently living. And then I saw this clip just before going live here. Andrew Tate kind of like weirdly disavowed the whole thing, or it just seemed weird to me. Here he is saying, he's like, why are people blaming me? I wasn't on even there.
I didn't play it. I didn't ask him to play it. I didn't dance. I didn't sing. In fact, the only time you see me on there is me storming out of the bus saying this is ridiculous and leaving. But I know why it was.
I didn't see that clip of Andrew Tate storming out of the bus. I didn't see that. But I will say that in the clips I did see, most of them, you couldn't even see Tate. Like a lot of those clips of the bus, I couldn't see Andrew. It was like he wasn't there. And I wonder why he did that. And I'm guessing, I'm totally speculating, but I don't think it was because they played the Kanye West song. Like there's videos of Andrew Tate throwing up.
Past 24 hours have been a little blackpilling NGL. We deserve vengeance. Anyway, love your show and you take the edge off of it all.
Thank you. Well, that's what I'm here to do. That's what the Jews pay me to do. They pay me to take the temperature down. No, I wish I was getting paid. That, just for doing what I believe in, of course. Thank you for the $5. Appreciate it. I don't really feel black-pilled. I don't know. What have the 24 hours been that bad? We're going to talk about it on the show today. There's a bunch of like bad laws that the Democrats are passing in Virginia. We're going to take a look at that. But I don't I don't know why I would feel particularly black-pilled about anything that's happened in the last 24 hours. It's just been kind of business as usual, basically. Anyway, I woke up depressed. That's, if you wake up depressed, you know what you need to do? You need to do cardio. You need to run. You need to run until it hurts. I do cardio. I try to do like a hardcore session 3 times a week. And it's like when you run really hard, you get your cortisol up. I like to do it in the morning too for that reason. It's like you spike your cortisol and then you just feel good for the rest of the day. Day drink, that's also an option. Anyway, I wonder if the reason, and because I find it hard to believe he stormed off because they played the Kanye West song, because I've seen like a video where he gets in his car that he made and posted where he like blasts that song. That was like after it first came out. And then I remember, and then I've seen the video too where he's like throwing up the Romans. But I wonder if it was just like he got invited to go clubbing with Nick Fuentes and Clavicular and them, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that'll be fun. Sure, Nick clubbing. Yeah, I got to see that." And then he shows up and they're streaming, and he's like, "You're streaming this live? That's fucking stupid. I'm here to have fun. I'm leaving." That would I don't know what happened. I'm just speculating, but that would kind of make sense to me.
It was played because of this. It was played because it gets traction in a world where everybody is bored of everything all of the time. And that's why these young people are encouraged constantly to try and do the most shocking thing possible. You see this not just with this song, you see this on all their streams. They're running people over and doing retarded shit constantly. So I'm not here to make excuses for myself. I'm not here to say it wasn't me. I'm not here to, blame someone else. But it is kind of ridiculous. It does feel a bit unfair that I'm standing in a nightclub. A song comes on that I did not request. A song comes on that I do not dance to. I do not repeat the lyrics to. I just stand there. And then they want to attribute somehow the song playing to me and it all being my fault.
Maybe he's mad because he got banned. I don't even know who all got banned, but as far as I know, they all got banned they went from Tate's house to the club. In Miami. Did he say why he stormed off? Like, I totally missed that part. Andrew Tate, ridiculous. Twitter search, man. How do you find things on here? I don't know. Twitter search on stream is it's too risky. Andrew Tate storms off. What would you even leaves the bus? Andrew Tate leaves. Anyway, whatever. Damn. Is that real? Holy shit. Is that real or is that edited? Good grief. Nick also went on Tim Pool, and funny, like I didn't even hear about this. I checked Twitter last night. I saw Groypers tweeting like, this Tim Pool Nick thing is really boring or whatever. It kind of solidifies like the Nick being mainstream is like complete now. His metamorphosis into a mainstream pundit is like complete, because even just 3 months ago, much less like 6 months ago, him going on Tim Pool would be like a big deal. People would be like, oh man, Nick's going. I didn't even hear about it till after the fact, and everybody was saying it was kind of boring. So are you going to do more gaming streams? Yeah, I try to do 2 a week. I try to do them I've been doing them for a while, every Monday and Friday. If I miss them kind of regularly because it's not that important to me, but that's the schedule: Monday evening and Friday evening.
But they expressed to me that from your content, they feel like you're attacking the run-of-the-mill working class.
Well, that's what the Groypers were saying. They were saying like this is like agony because Tim just talks and talks and talks.
That's Jewish guy.
Working class, what is that? Like they run the banks? Working class
but that's
Jew?
The point. No,
that's a joke. But no, but like we're in the working class. We're running the bank. No, but
Nick at least Nick got a nice Jew impression in there. We're in the working class. I can't even do it as good as him. I have nothing against working class Jews. I'm sure they're both decent individuals. That's funny. Too bad I have to reciprocate the block. I just want to work. Give me the shovel, Jew. Take this bag of gold away to the bank with you. Anyway, that's the only clip I saw. That's not even like the only clip I saw that was funny. That's literally the only clip I saw. So there you go. Tyler Oliveira is going to Somali daycares in Ohio, I believe this is.
Because I'm Somali?
I'm trying to get daycare for my kid. I don't know what you're talking about.
Get the fuck off my private property.
Yeah, but isn't this a daycare?
That's me trying to enroll my baby into 40 daycares across Columbus, Ohio that received over $42 million from government programs designed to feed kids from 2017 to 2025. It turned out they were claiming to feed far more meals than they actually provided, and this little office is the only address that could ever be found. Were these 40 daycares that received money from this nonprofit legit, or are they shell businesses operating as a front?
Wow, this building is complete trash. Hi. Hello. I have a 1-year-old. I wonder if I can get an application. Yes. Or like, what's the deal with the boarded up windows?
Well, it's not boarded up. It's
okay.
Tinted because, people are weird.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Definitely tons of kids in there. I'm trying to get some childcare for my son.
5 minutes to get off my private property. I'm calling the cops.
I'm trying to get some child care.
Get the fuck off my private property right now.
Not even a hello, how are you? An empty building with a bunch of trash bags? Within 2 minutes of me knocking, someone came, just dropped off a bunch of kids, and that was that. Next up, Al Shafiqi. Let's see if they even say anything. I don't know if anyone's here. The place appears to be fully empty. Hello? Does it look like a daycare? No, it looks like a small prison complex. What are your thoughts on the fraudsters that are out there?
I feel like anybody that's doing that actually be punished for it.
Sunrise Child Care and Learning Center. He brought me in, brand new interior, super nice, honestly. Okay, guys following me. Somali dude following me.
I am not even shaking your hand. I do see that you are recording here.
What are you talking about?
$5.
Thank you, Cat Respecter. Leaving your child with blacks. Yeah. If you're white, yeah.
You're a highly reviewed daycare. I'm trying to get some child care for the kids.
If you want it,
Yeah.
you shouldn't come and take a picture.
No, I was knocking. What
want
is
a
this?
daycare?
What is this? Roof gonna fall in?
Yes, but that's not your damn business.
Why are you doing 24/7 surveillance though?
Let me see your
I'm not
ID.
gonna give you my ID.
Let me see your ID.
You give me your ID.
Where are you from originally?
I was born and raised in America.
Where are you from originally?
What are you talking about?
Because I'm Somali.
I'm trying to get daycare for my kid.
They're doing a Uno reverse. Where are you? No, where are you actually from? You're not American.
And I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a problem, and he needs to leave. We will make sure he leaves.
Yes, that's the only thing you need.
Have a great day.
Come out here.
I literally can't. You don't understand the First Amendment. I'm on the sidewalk. You're making this worse. Go in there and just help the kids, man, if you're such a good guy. Look at the front gate, man. Would I ever bring my kid here? No. This area is surrounded by trash in the ghetto, basically. There is a playground. Would never bring my child here. I've called the phone number. Nobody answered. Let's see if we can knock on the door. Hey there. Do you guys have like an application or something?
Yes, you are. Get your application.
Okay. And now if I just fill this out, I can bring it back today?
You actually take it to the welfare. Yeah.
Can I pay privately?
You take it to the welfare.
With cash, US dollars?
Oh, we just take families with welfare.
Only families with welfare.
Wow, are you recording?
No. I'm doing good.
Only families with welfare. But I mean, there must be an actual daycare there, right? Theoretically, if they're getting applications approved by random people off the street, then presumably that person could bring their kids there at some point.
I see you everywhere, going every day, kids, man. Do a favor though. Don't record my kids, man.
What are you talking about?
If I see you on your TikTok for my kids, I'm gonna come after you.
You're gonna come after me? All right.
Why is there Somalians everywhere in America? I thought this was just like a Minnesota thing, but they're in Seattle, they're in Ohio. How come you didn't dig into the Jews in New Jersey doing the home care? You heard them tell you on camera they do home care. Give time, brother. Where are the kids at home with their unemployed parents who are part of this fraud, likely receiving a cut from the payments? The ceiling tile moves up and down on its own. It did kind of seem to do that.
If you want it,
Yeah.
you shouldn't come and take a picture.
No, I was knocking.
You want a daycare?
Yeah, what happened there? Was he pushing on it?
No, I was knocking. What is this?
Roof moves. It's where they hide the illegals from ICE. They thought he was ICE. Don Lemon on church members upset that he stormed their church. They're entitled white supremacists. Of course, you guys have probably all heard Don Lemon was shot resisting arrest. They tried to, Harmeet Dillon tried to have him arrested under KKK laws, and he was shot resisting arrest. No, that's all clickbait. Nothing has or will happen to this guy. So sorry. It's a slow news day. I had to make something up.
And there's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are...
if you mean the Jew video, then we watched like the similar trailer on the show, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
And there's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are, in the religious groups like that, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that
You practice. You're a homosexual in a gay marriage. It's like a total. So whatever you practice is not Christianity. You can't be gay married. This is like you're not even trying. You know what I mean? There's like, okay, you're a Christian. You're not perfect. You know you're not supposed to sin, but you still mess up. That's one thing. You are literally gay married. Your whole life is an affront to God.
they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from a supremacy, a white supremacy. And they think that this country was built for them, that it is a Christian country, when actually we left England because we wanted religious freedom.
It is a country, one country under God. It is a Christian country. The colonists who left England and came here had blasphemy death penalty laws. Blasphemy was a capital crime for most of or I think all of the colonies, actually, with some and not even like this wasn't. We're not even talking like unofficial. We're talking like laws on the books, some of which named Jesus. Like if you were in like Maine or whatever, and you said like I renounce Jesus, the false prophet, they would kill you. I don't know how many people they actually killed. Let me ask Grok that, actually. You know, I like to ask Grok. You know, I like to learn things. Hey, Grok, you know how the American colonies had capital punishment for blasphemy? How many people were actually killed for blasphemy in America?
Capital punishment for blasphemy existed in some early American colonies, but actual executions for it were extremely rare. Records show just a handful confirmed cases, mostly in the 17th century. For example, in Massachusetts Bay Colony, around 1631, there might have been 1 or 2 hangings tied to blasphemy claims. But sources are fuzzy. Historians debate if they were truly for blasphemy alone or mixed with witchcraft accusations. In total, across all colonies up to the Revolution, you're looking at fewer than 5 documented deaths specifically for blasphemy. Most blasphemers got fines or public shaming instead. By the 1800s, it was pretty much obsolete.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. In fact, I was wondering if the number was actually going to be 0. So the fact that it was 5 is almost more, that's almost like a lot, honestly. But anyway, the point is not like we used to like mass murder people like psychos. The point is that these were very religious people. That's the point. And yeah, nobody wants to force you to be Christian. But religious freedom was like, you can practice different forms of Christian, basically. That's really how they thought about it. Or you can not practice at all. The idea that they wanted like mosques and synagogues and stuff like that, or Hindu temples or anything, is also like totally anachronistic. They absolutely would have freaked out if you came over in the year 1850, after the blasphemy laws were long gone. If you came over in 1850 and said, I'm building a mosque, they'd have been like, we're burning that down. No, you're not.
Religious freedom, but only if you're a Christian and only if you're a white male, pretty much. And so, yeah, I absolutely 100%, but it's an intimidation tactic. And, I said, I don't understand how I've become.
Keep in mind, he's talking about people who were literally just went to church. These people, there's no evidence of them expressing supremacist views or whatever. They said the pastor is an ICE agent, which even that, I haven't looked into it, but I find it kind of dubious. I mean, it's based if true. You're busting illegals all week, and then on Sunday you go preach to your flock. Like, that's based if true, but it seems kind of far-fetched. Let me see. Hey, Grok, you know how Don Lemon stormed into that church and they were all saying that the pastor is an ICE agent? Is the pastor of that church actually an ICE agent?
Yeah, from what I've seen, the pastor they're talking about, David Easterwood at City's Church in St. Paul, is indeed the acting field office director for ICE's enforcement and removal operations there. It's backed up by court filings, news reports, and even his own appearances, like on C-SPAN. Protesters stormed the service over that dual role.
I wish I had a pastor that based. That's rad. That's rad. Oh. Still, though, calling them white supremacists, calling the people who just go to church there white supremacists, seems like a pretty big reach. But again, based if true. I should ask Grok. You think if I ask Grok that one, there's going to be any evidence to support it? Probably not.
The face of it when I was a journalist. I do understand that I'm the biggest name there. And I'm also, as I was on with my producers this morning, you know, you and Kylie talk all the time. My producers were saying, I said, how did I become the face of this? And my producer said, Don, you're a gay black man in America. And there's a certain degree of it.
Wow, that's so poignant. What's going on here? Never ask a white supremacist who his wife or girlfriend is. This kid looks white. It's kind of a blurry photo. I'm just saying he got lucky. If that's the mom, this guy won the die roll. There's like, have you guys ever seen that 4chan post about the guy who's like, he marries some Asian woman and then he complains about how his kid just looks totally Asian and everyone makes fun of him. Thinks the kid's not his, etc., etc. You're really playing with fire. Yeah, very rookie. Don Lemon compared harassing people worshiping their religion to lunch counter civil rights protests and bring it on.
Yeah, totally fine.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, good.
How's my audio? To know it's not only when I go on your show that we...
Name again? The
Harmeet Dillon.
Harmeet Dillon.
Assistant Attorney General.
Okay, assistant. Okay.
That's the black guy. He's like, Harmee? Who? Oh, what?
Back to TMZ Live.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Good to see you, Charles and Harvey.
It's good
I wish
seeing
it was
you,
under
Bill.
different circumstances, but you know.
I don't know. I think it's. I think this is an important circumstance to talk about, so I'm actually embracing it. So, Harmeet Johnson, the Deputy Attorney General.
Dillon.
I'm sorry.
Harmeet Dillon.
Harmeet Dillon, the Deputy Attorney General for Civil.
Never mind. The Jew is the one. How do these people not know who Harmeet Dillon is? I know. I'm not like a political guy, though, but I know.
Rights
that.
was on the Benny
How do you
Johnson
not know?
show, and talked about you and what you did at the church. I want to play it. I want to get your reaction.
Some of these folks who did this have self-identified. Don Lemon himself has come out and said he knew exactly what was going to happen inside that facility. He went into the facility and then he began, quote unquote, committing journalism. And as if that's sort of a shield from being an embedded part of a criminal conspiracy. It isn't. Come next Sunday, nobody should think in the United States that they're going to be able to get away with this. Everyone in the protest community needs to know that the fullest force of the federal government is going to come down and prevent this from happening and put people away.
Any day now, guys.
For a long, long time.
What do you say to the offense, the criminal offense of committing journalism?
I'm not really quite sure what to say about that. I think that if this woman and the DOJ or Trump or Pam Bondi, if they think that they're going to somehow make activists and protesters in Minneapolis afraid, then I think they've got another thing coming. I think these people are really pissed off at what's happening in the country, and I think that this is right now we're at an inflection point, and I think this is going to motivate people to protest even more. They should be trying to listen to the protesters, which is one of the questions I asked the pastor. Now, as far as it relates to me, I had, it doesn't matter if I had an idea or didn't have an idea of what was going on in church. I'm a journalist. I was there to report and to show and to chronicle what's going on and to memorialize it. And that's exactly what I did. And that's exactly what we do in every situation and over historic moments since America's inception. That's what journalists do. It's the First Amendment. We're protected in the First Amendment. So I have no idea what they're talking about. And I don't believe this woman has any idea what she's talking about as well.
It would be, if they do try to charge him, that will be kind of a tough legal battle, because he'll say he's a journalist. And, you know, if it went to the Supreme Court, which is full of shit libs, they're gonna be like, yeah, we can't just go around locking up journalists. The part that is like biggest against him is the way he like went up to the pastor and was like grilling him up in his face. That makes it look like he was not documenting. But again, he could just say, well, look, I'm just interviewing the guy, but it's like you're interviewing him in the middle of his service when he's asking you to leave. So, but the thing is like the way, you know, he's acting defiant. He's like, yeah, no, we're not scared. And it's like, yeah, I would do the same thing if I was him, because Harmeet Dillon and Pam Bondi aren't going to do anything. All they do is talk. The Trump administration is like the fucking podcast circuit That's what they do. They go on Benny Johnson's show and they talk tough and they do nothing. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it would be better to not talk if you're not going to follow through on all these things you keep saying you're going to do. Okay. If Don Lemon isn't getting, you know, his face shoved into the pavement by a SWAT team by the end of the day, then just shut the fuck up and stop talking. You're embarrassing, and they're laughing at you. Don Lemon's here like laughing at you, being like, yeah, you ain't gonna do shit. And I would do the exact same thing if I was him, because I don't think you are gonna do anything.
Well, it sounds like, Don, they are tying you to saying that you weren't just a journalist. It almost sounds like they're accusing you, or they think that you might have been involved in the planning of this, that you were somehow part of the protest. I didn't see that at all in the video, but that sounds what the road that they're going down.
I think it sounds like what they would like people to think. I had no planning. I did no planning. There's no evidence of any planning. Again, I was there covering, well, not again, because I didn't tell you this, but I was there covering the protesters. I flew into Minneapolis that morning. They were holding an event, and I said, well, why don't I just go with you guys to see what you're doing today? And they said, fine, come with us. And I chronicle it throughout my show live on YouTube and on.
He's a liar, and they can like get like phone documents and stuff like that
on Substack and Twitch. It's live. It's all the
phone records, I should say. You know, he's probably like suggesting, like, did you know this pastor? Christ, like he probably gave them the idea.
There, I had no idea of the planning. I didn't even know where we were going. Not that even matters. Again, I'm a journalist. That's what I was doing. I talked to the people at the church. I talked to the pastor. I talked to the congregants. I talked to the protesters, and that's it. And then I left. And when I left, there were police officers outside. And if they thought there was any, civil disobedience that had gone out of control, I think they would have come in and started, trying to remove people or ask them to leave or arresting people. None of that happened. It was very peaceful. There was, nobody was physically threatened. And once
that one guy was screaming, touch me, see what happens, touch me, see what happens.
Disturbance was created. Then I looked at it as an opportunity to do news, to report on it. And what if I hadn't been there chronicling it? Nobody would have known about it. But also, I wasn't the only journalist there, so I'm not quite sure how I became the face in the headline.
Hey, congratulations, you are. So I want to get your reaction to my take on this. I mean, I have been in news for 47 years. I've done newspapers, I've done radio, I've done local news, TMZ, other things. You did journalism. I mean, I watched it yesterday. It's pure journalism.
It commits journalism.
Yeah, you committed pure journalism yesterday. It's clear. So when you hear the Deputy Attorney General...
You committed pure journalism. Isn't that what like Elijah Schaffer was at J6? That was his... Because he went into the building, didn't he? And he didn't go to jail because he was doing journalism. That's what I'm saying. Like it would be very hard to get Don Lemon on this. Honestly, I doubt they can get him on this, but They also say the process is the punishment, and they say that for a reason. So, again, if you're going to threaten him, then actually do something.
General saying this, it's silly, it's wacky, it's dumb. I mean, look, people can have
it's an intimidation tactic,
but that's where I'm going. That none of that would ever stand up in court because there's clearly a First Amendment right to do what you did. So none of it's going to stand up in court. She knows it. I mean, she passed the bar exam. She knows it. If this is done for intimidation, I'm not so sure that doesn't have some impact on people thinking, yeah, it's great, but then I have to hire a lawyer. I'm going to have to pay a lot of money to win. And then where am I at the end? So if this really is an intimidation, and that's what they're doing, everybody kind of passes it off. But that's a real thing in this country.
I think a lot of people, yes, it is a real thing. But on this Dr. King Day, this is mobilizing a lot of people. When I hosted a breakfast for Dr. King today for the Rainbow Push Coalition, Reverend Jesse Jackson's organization, and people are really mobilized. And obviously people at this event had heard about it, and the attorneys for the Bar Association in Chicago and on civil rights attorneys are saying, bring it on. Because this is what the civil rights movement was about. Don, they said, what if no one had chronicled the civil rights movement? This is akin to people going into to diners and department stores with lunch counters and sitting in. This was an act of civil disobedience. But they said, none of that has anything to do with you. You're a journalist. And we look to our journalists. There's a special place carved.
It's really not akin to that at all, because the idea was blacks weren't allowed in those diners, right? So they're like, oh, we're going to go in there. But there's nobody, black people are allowed at the church. Somalis are allowed at the church. You're just going there and harassing these church people because you don't like ICE. Which is like, that's a real stretch to compare that to civil rights, which I'm totally against civil rights, by the way. And we should have diners where black people aren't allowed. But that's totally besides the point. The point is, this is an absolute false comparison, regardless of how you feel about segregation.
In the Constitution for journalists, we look to our journalists to be able to record this stuff so that people have an idea of what is happening in the now and also in history. So, I think this is just this is gonna backfire on them. They're gonna mobilize more people to fight against these strong arm ICE and federal agent tactics that's happening on the streets, where they're not following due process nor the Constitution. I think that they are alerting a lot of people who may have sort of been apathetic about it, in the past. Now they're going to become more aware of it. So let them do it. Bring it on.
Bring it on. Well, is that what Ann Wokeness said he compared? Or no, that was yeah. Oh no, this one right here. Bring it on. Oh, and to bring it on. I thought they meant like the movie. Wasn't that like a cheerleader movie? I was like, wait, he compared the protest to Bring It On, the cheerleader movie. Okay, that's not what happened. All right, this tweet here showed up. It went kind of viral because a lot of my people I follow were like quote tweeting this with funny captions. The caption on the original tweet says, "They found this on his phone, and I'm going to be honest, I would be embarrassed to be eaten and leaving this as my last videographic testament."
I'm going away. I'm going away. I'm going away. I'm not going to promise. I'm not going to. Hey, I'm not going to bug you. I'm going away. I'm not going to bug you. I promise. I'm just going away. I'm going away. I promise I'm not going to bug you. I'm going away. I promise. I swear. I'm going away. I'm not going to bug you.
This just goes on and on like this, by the way. So I would like watch this video all tense, like expecting the mountain lion was going to charge.
I'm not going to bug you. I'm going away.
And the video would end with like the phone flying off and the guy like screaming like, ah, as he was getting mauled by the mountain lion. But that doesn't happen at all in this video. I'm going away. Spoiler alert.
I'm going away.
It just ends with him.
I'm not going to bug you. I'm going away.
Walking away.
I'm going away.
And saying, I'm going away, I'm going away, I'm not going to bug you. Like he's negotiating with the mountain lion like it's a Disney character, like it's like he's in the Lion King and it can understand him or something. And everybody was like making fun of this, saying like, you know, if you ever encounter a mountain lion, make sure to act as scared as possible so they know to feel bad for you and not hurt you. But I didn't really know, like, because the caption here said they found this on his phone. I was like, what is going on? This person said, people in the quotes and replies thinking it's not real or he didn't die. Well, he did, and it would be genuinely embarrassing to be the only person to die from a mountain lion in 20 years, but it happens. And I was like, okay, so wait, somebody really died. And I was like looking into this. This guy didn't die from this video. And I remember this video, I'm pretty sure, going viral like in the last few years when it first came out, because everybody's making fun of it. But I was like trying to figure out what was going on, like who died. And this came up from 5 days ago. Mountain lion kills man in California's first fatal attack in 20 years is the headline. So I was like, oh, this is the one they're talking about, because that's what the chick said. She said 20 years. Then come to find out this happened like over a year ago. This says updated July 3rd, but this happened in like 2024, I think. And this talks about two brothers, and says they decided not to take their guns because it was the first day of junior turkey hunting season and they didn't want to attract attention from state wildlife officers. While walking along a dirt roadway, the pair saw a lion walk up the road, spot them, and begin to approach. Both Tyler and Wyatt raised their hands to appear larger, shouted, and even threw their backpack at the lion. But instead of running off, the family said the animal attacked. And one of them died in the attack, and one of them just got badly mauled. And they tried to pass a law.
Tonight, the family of a young man killed last year by a mountain lion in El Dorado County went to the Capitol today. They hoped to enact change, but they left disappointed. ABC 10's Becca Habegger shows us what happened to the bill they wanted to pass and what comes next.
The California State Senate Committee on Natural Resources and
Okay, so I don't watch the video, but this was like an old story. This was from like years ago. But yes, somebody did die 2 weeks ago. Or it was like on New Year's Eve. A woman in Colorado did get killed by a mountain lion.
She died doing something she loved deeply. That is from the family of the woman.
And this is the only one that's recent, because it's not that common to get killed by a mountain lion, it turns out.
In the New Year's Day mountain lion attack, 46-year-old Kristen Kovac was from Fort Collins. She loved being outside, hiking, running. Her family says she was an ultra marathon runner, though it's not clear whether she was actually running at the time of that attack. Alan Janae joins me now tonight with new details in this investigation. And Alan, her family is certainly devastated by this.
Absolutely. Certainly they are. And they say they are still struggling to try and comprehend this. An autopsy shows she died of asphyxiation due to neck compression, consistent with the mountain.
This recent video, which recent video? The one where the guy's going, I don't think that video was recent. And I don't think there's not a video of this woman dying, because they're saying they don't know what happened to her. It's a mystery.
Lion attack, says the coroner. Her family said she was a person who found...
Yeah, or you could carry bear spray if you're going out in the wild. We have bears around here. I shouldn't talk, because I go kind of not really hiking. It's like a 20-minute walk up and down the hill. It's like a mini hike, but I do that, and I don't carry bear spray. And there was a bear sighting at one point in the last 5 years, and I think there's like some kind of like cougar or mountain lion occasionally seen around here too.
Joy and purpose in caring for animals. Now she has lost her life to one.
But I do have my dog with me, for what it's worth, and he would give his life to keep me alive. Bear spray is illegal in California. What a state.
It was a day when the tragic killing of a person by a mountain lion for the first time this century in Colorado.
They banned bear spray? Why?
Home.
I don't think people are going around trying to find a bear to spray.
with the family of Kristen Kovac saying her energy, compassion, and independence touched everyone who knew her.
We want to start by saying we're thinking of her family and her loved ones at this time.
Colorado Parks and Wildlife says there are indications a mother and 2 subadult cats of 1 year to 2.5 years could have been behind several incidents we've reported on of people recently confronted by mountain lions or dogs killed brazenly near people. What's believed to be the mother cat could not be found by tracking and searches.
We've given up looking for it right now.
There's a killer cat on the loose and you guys aren't even looking for it?
A female and male juvenile lion killed after the attack on Kristen Kovac were euthanized. The male had human DNA on all 4 paws.
I'm thoroughly convinced that that lion was involved in the attack.
The female, seen by the body, had none. There are still questions about reports of mountain lions going after people. CPW says more likely than seeking people, lions found areas around people had more prey, like elk and deer.
There's important resources here that you can utilize for food, and that's probably what is being taught in those situations, not that humans are okay.
What happened on Crozier Mountain?
What is being taught in those situations? That's a weird way to talk about mountain lions.
Trail specifically may never be explained.
The specifics of what went on at that moment, we'll never know.
Necropsies on the 2 lions euthanized were negative for rabies and other neurological defects. CPW explains that the mother mountain lion, assuming it wasn't a sibling, has likely moved on. Now, they typically do keep moving.
Are we the bad guys? We call ourselves civilized. Allison and I are watching Lonesome Dove now. It's a 4-part mini-series Western with Robert Duvall and Tommy Lee Jones, and Steve Buscemi made an appearance. It's really good. If you like Westerns and you've never seen Lonesome Dove, you should check it out. We're enjoying it. But they meet this guy who's a chef, and he's like, I don't ride animals. It's not civilized. Humans are animals. How would you like someone riding you? This guy's like, I don't ride horses. Anyway. I was assaulted for my work as a journalist while riding home on a bus in Philadelphia.
You talk shit about Islamic people, you talk shit about black people, you talk shit about Mexicans, and you post it on the internet.
Come here. What am I? Oh, she doesn't want to be on camera now. Why not? Whoa.
Okay, so she recognized him, was shit talking him. He pulled out his phone and is like, what is that? What are you saying? And then she spurred out and like tried to smack the phone out of his hands.
Oh, I'll record. All right. Good. Why do you do that? Why do you do that? I mean, you're so good. What am I?
Oh, are you still gonna film me?
Whoa, don't do that. Whoa. How am I back? Whoa.
Just tries to pepper spray him. These people are crazy.
She got the back of my head with pepper spray. That was interesting. She's still there.
Fuck you. And
why?
Fuck the shit that
she's coming back.
Zero survival instinct. Well, that's what I was wondering, because we already know he gets pepper sprayed in the face because they showed it at the start of the video. So they showed the spoiler for how this ends. So, and this is the part here where it's like she already tried to pepper spray you once.
Okay, so thank you all.
And you're treating it like it's like a funny joke. I don't know. I'd be a little bit more keeping her the fuck away from me. Apparently they apparently know each other, trying to scam for GoFundMe money. Oh, what?
Her name's Paulina. Paulina Reyes. There she is. You want to wait? You want to hang out for the cops? She's coming back. Yeah, she's gonna wait for the cops. She's coming back.
you're fascist and you fucking harass people.
You want to hang?
That's your fucking problem.
You want to hang out for the cops?
I mean, this feels like such a legitimate freak out. This is like such a legitimate liberal crash out.
You want to hang out?
On the fucking internet.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa.
Go and see.
Why are you so mad?
See, if somebody had tried to pepper spray me once, I would not let them get within kicking distance of my very long legs. You try to pepper spray me, you better stay out of kicking distance after that, because you get within kicking distance, I'm booting you across the bus.
Because you talk shit about Islamic people.
I'm gonna pull a 300 on you. The way he kicks that guy into the pit, that's exactly what I'm doing to you. You get within range after you try to pepper spray me.
You talk shit about black people. You talk shit about Mexicans.
But this doesn't feel fake to me. I just think this guy is he's not treating it seriously, because I think he's happy he's getting content. He's kind of egging her on, laughing at her, because he's like, oh, this is going to be such a funny video. And he's just like genuinely not worried that he thinks it's not gonna hit him. And then she catches him off guard right there. It's like, this is the freeze frame on the Teenage Wasteland. Yep, that's me. You know that one? You know that song.
Come here. Right here.
But maybe it is a big scam.
You good?
We'll have to investigate these allegations.
Better than
now.
ever. If you would like to contribute so we can get a car and not get harassed on buses, surgemedia.us. All contributions are appreciated. We're never going to stop. They can pepper spray me, they can mace me all they want. I will never stop. But it's beautiful.
This also looks very much like a guy who actually got pepper sprayed.
Day here in Philadelphia, and
because you could see like the tears coming out there. Right, that part's hard to fake. I now have Black Panthers filming my house and coming to my there's some weird like Black Panther psyop going on, or they're trying to like redo the and that reminds me, I totally forgot about this morning, but now that I think about it, I have to kvetch about this guy. This is like my most hated Twitter account, and I can find the tweet, this one right here, 2016 forever. This guy's Cynical Plubius. This guy, every time I see this guy's tweets, I groan so hard. So he's reacting to Liam Neeson, who says, the fact that the MAGAs get super nervous and frightened when a black man exercises his Second Amendment rights to open carry an AR-15 tells you everything you need to know about white gun enthusiasts. This guy's like, liar. The fascinating thing about posts like the one below is how leftist idiots assume we MAGAs only want white people to keep and bear arms. In reality, we believe that is a universal human right. What people like this goon below are doing is superimposing their own racial prejudices and ideas onto others. Idiot leftists goons assume we have situational ethics just like they do. We're not racists like you, Liam. We hold true to our core values in all instances, unlike you, Liam. Now beat it, Fash. Scram. God. Dies of cringe. Just give me something for the cringe and let me die. Holy fuck. Beat it, Fash. Beat it. Now beat it, Fash. And then everybody clapped. This guy gets paid way more than me on Twitter, but he showed his earnings. He gets paid like quadruple what I get paid. He has like 250. He has almost 300K followers. We don't got to go into all that. I'm not going to sit here and kvetch about the 3-tier system on Twitter. That's not the point. The point is, if you don't have like your survival instincts kicking in when you see a bunch of black people with guns, you are retarded. You are retarded. This is like a kind of like boomer conservative 2016 MAGA mentality that is much less common than it used to be, but it's still like, you know, it's crazy. It's like Chris Rufo shouting out MLK in 2026. You know, it's like, guys, we're not doing this anymore. We're not racists like you, Lee. Beat it, Fash. Oh, God. Black people should not have guns. Did Paul? Good news. But again, I should be. This non-committal thing is very nerve-wracking. This is what I'm talking about. Then you go live and you're like, is this fucking guy going to show up, or am I going to have to, right? Because if he just said, no, I'm not coming, then it's like, okay, show's canceled. Sorry, everybody. I'm not even really mad because I haven't put the work in yet. It's later today. I'm going to get the clips all ready and organized and do all that. Which is why I messaged him this morning. I was like, let me know if you can't make it ASAP so I don't waste my time doing that. I should be able to. Anyway, Paul Miller on the show tomorrow, hopefully. Look, I understand there's potential acts of God or whatever. Maybe your internet doesn't work. Maybe your house burns down. But it's like, barring something like that, how hard is it to just commit when there's less than 24 hours? Like, you don't know. You don't know what you're doing tomorrow. Anyway, I'm not shitting on Paul. I'm stoked that he's coming, but I'm making a point about how stressful it is. It's dealing with these YouTubers. It's like herding cats. And Lily Gaddis is the other guest. Yeah, Paul Per Mirror and Lily Gaddis tomorrow, 3:00 Pacific. I have to bring up his ancestry. I don't, actually. I really don't have to do that. And I won't. I will not. I did that when I first started doing the show. I actually feel bad and awkward because I did that to people, my guests, and then I realized like it's fucked up to like make your guests uncomfortable when they're doing you a favor. The very, very first guest I had on the show was Josh Lakash, who is ethnically Jewish, and I mentioned it at the start of the show. I was trying to be funny, but I realized like later, like as a host, it's actually like not really cool to do that to people. And I did the same thing. Well, if you're Jewish and you're coming onto a show with a bunch of anti-Semites, then yeah, it's maybe you don't want to like lean into that. That's what, like, why are they? And then I did the same thing to Savannah Hernandez, where I was just like, oh, I didn't know what you, and then it turns out you're this and that. And it's like, it's just weird. It's just weird to talk about people's ethnicity like that. It's weird. So I don't do it anymore. Okay, and I see a lot of pushback in the chat. So let me tell you guys right now, if you're rude to my guest, you're getting banned when he's on the show. If you come into the chat tomorrow and you're rude to my guest, you're getting banned. Okay? So that's the only warning you're getting. Did you pay? No, I don't pay my guests. I don't pay them. They're doing me a favor. That's why it's weird to like. Handsome True said Gypsy was white until Gypsy launched a rival streaming platform. I don't think that's true. Handsome Truth let Gypsy stream on Goyim TV, but I don't think he was claiming that Gypsy was white. Anyways, you guys are annoying me now, so I'm going to stop looking at the chat. Yesterday, And this is a problem, you know. It's like on the one hand, these fucking diva YouTubers or whatever, these diva influencers, I don't even know if they're going to show up when they say they will. And then on the other hand, a bunch of ungrateful little cunts in the chat complaining about how they don't even like the guests that you're racking your brain trying to get. You're sending all these messages trying to get guests for what? So people can complain because they're not white enough. Yesterday, routers captured ICE breaking down a door and dragging a...
The Nutter sent $3. I won't be rude to your guest. In fact, I will be very giving. I have something I want to give Lily.
Okay. Again, I will warn you once and once only. I also... There's no TTS on the show, and I reserve the right to just ignore super chats that I don't think are appropriate. Okay, so super chat at your own risk. Having said that, Lily has a pretty good sense of humor, so that's part of, like, you know what I mean. I kind of, when I'm deciding whether or not I'm going to ignore a chat, it's like, do I think this person is going to care? And Lily has a pretty thick skin as far as I can tell, but no guarantee, no promises. Yesterday, Reuters captured ICE breaking down a door and dragging a man out half naked into the freezing cold in St. Paul. According to his sister-in-law, they returned him after realizing he's a naturalized U.S. citizen with no criminal record. ICE came to my brother-in-law Sally's apartment, broke down the door, trashed. I'm thinking about that comment. Why would you be uncomfortable talking about your ethnicity? Some of you guys are so autistic. You know what I mean? It's like bringing like a 43-year-old woman on your show and then being, hey, so you're kind of old, right? Like you're 43. That's pretty old for a woman. Like no one wants to fuck you anymore. You know what I mean? Try being a little less autistic. There's a point where autism is no longer a superpower and you're just like, nobody wants to talk to you because you have no social etiquette.
The Nutter sent $3, so you saying there's a chance. Got it.
Thank you, the Nutter. Anyway. Broke down the door, trashed the place, handcuffed him, and put a gun to his daughter-in-law's head. Did that really happen? They did not allow him to put on proper clothing and forced him outside in freezing weather. Sally is a naturalized U.S. citizen. He has no criminal record. ICE drove him around for nearly an hour, questioned him, fingerprinted him. Only after all of that did they realize he had no criminal history and no reason to be detained. They then dropped him back off at his apartment like nothing happened. We believe they were looking for someone who previously lived there, but instead of asking for identification, they chose violence, intimidation, and humiliation. And then ICE says they conducted a targeted operation of 2 convicted sex offenders. One of the criminal targets had convictions for sex with a minor and sexual assault. The other target had convictions for sexual assault with penetration in the first degree, domestic violence, and violating a protective order. Both also have convictions for failure to register as sex offenders. They both have final orders for removal from an immigration judge. The U.S. citizen lives with these 2 convicted sex offenders at the site of the operation. The individual refused to be fingerprinted or facially ID'd. He matched the description of the targets. As with any law enforcement agency, it is standard protocol to hold all individuals in a house of an operation for safety of the public and law enforcement. Both of these sexual predators remain at large in St. Paul. So the guy wasn't cooperating. He refused to ID himself, and so they had to like force him to fingerprint so they could like run a check on him, is what it sounds like. You say no one will talk to you like that's a bad thing. You guys, you internet people. YouTuber Jesse James West. By the way, again, I've said this before, but it's like, I'm not the type of guy to like hang around in my underwear during the day in my place. But if I was, hypothetically, and if ICE like stormed in here and like took me out because they had the wrong address, I wouldn't, I'd be, hey man, mistakes happen. Don't worry about it. Now go get the spics. I didn't mean to say that. Now go get the illegals. You're doing it. You guys are doing a good job. You're doing your, you know what I mean? No hard feelings. If it was me, I wouldn't be crying about it.
English sent $3 the nutter. You need justice. The Bible says justice will take into account every idle word, repent, and go to church on Sunday, and stop gunning, stop running, Geeko.
Boomer Slayer sent $20. Thank you for your hard work. Paul is cool.
Thank you, Boomer Slayer. Appreciate it. Yeah, it should be a fun show. It should be a fun show. I don't know why people are going to get so mad. Gypsy doesn't lie about his ethnicity. I saw, you know, I ignored it, but somebody's like, you're just going to help him grift? You're going to help him pretend he's white? He doesn't pretend. He doesn't pretend, but just because he's not technically white doesn't mean you have to talk about that ad nauseum and nothing else forever. Don't watch if you don't like him, okay? If you don't like Gypsy, don't watch. The rest of us are just going to try to have a fun show. HT alleges he does and did. So the only clip I've seen of Handsome Truth and Gypsy Crusader talking about his ethnicity is Handsome Truth is like, so you're a gypsy, right? So you're like Indian basically. And Gypsy's like, my dad's Indian. Yeah. So I haven't seen that. So you guys can say all you want that they did this and that, but the clips I've seen are the exact opposite of what you're saying. YouTuber held a competition to see who's stronger between tall, strong bodybuilder women and strong dwarf men. Dwarf men easily crushed them.
Come on, Zach.
Come on.
Yeah.
Easy
All right.
work. Yes.
All right. Next one.
You got this. Big one. You got this. Come on, girl.
Yo, Lorenzo's already at 4 plates right now. I think Brittany's stuck at 3.
Easy, good. Pull. No. Nope.
Not gonna lie, I would struggle with 3 plates, but I don't really deadlift because I'm always worried about my back. I ordered a belt and I have the belt now, but I haven't used it yet. But when I do deadlift, I usually stop at 2 plates and just try to do a bunch of reps at that because I don't want to like fuck up my back. I'm just not good at that one. I'm not good at anything, but I'm really bad at deadlifting.
Hey, let's go. Move over.
Lorenzo's got it on his own.
Nice.
Emily decided to help Britt with her 315 deadlift. Emily and Brittany are going. I did not tell them they couldn't do this. We're going.
Take that. Go. What? The dwarf is carrying this one surprises me. This one, I would have thought the women have the edge because their legs are so much longer. And like, how heavy can a dwarf be? You know what I'm saying? They can't even do this one.
Oh! Go! Winners!
That surprises me. Wait, wasn't there a clip where they're like throwing him around in a ring? How did we miss that? Was I just talking through that? I feel like we skipped like a big chunk of this. What happened?
These are female giants. And they are the world's...
How tall is that dude? Hold on. Are they really giants, or is this guy like 5'7"? How many people have been Googling Jesse James West height? 6'1"? His own more recent claims from his own content suggest he's closer to 7'2". No. Height comparison. This says 5'9.75, 5'10". I could believe that. So that would put the women at about like 6'5"-ish. He looks so small. What do you guys think? Is he really 5'10"?
And they are the world's strongest dwarves. And they'll be competing in strength competitions, all to find out who is stronger.
This is content, by the way. This guy's really, everybody's out here doing lame Somali fraud videos. Finally, some real content.
You're going down.
Yeah. No, you're going down.
Go.
Easy.
Damn, I cannot squat 5 plates. That's crazy. I'm not going to say how many plates I can't squat, but it's less than 5.
585 pounds on the bar.
Yep.
Am I clear?
Yep. Good job, Zo. Good job, Zo.
One more.
Are those 45-pound plates? 585 pounds. Jeez, man.
Woo! 2.
Come on, big dog.
1, go. Come on. Yo, frick. Oh! No way. No way.
It's destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. But this is what I always talk about, like in sports, the psychological differences. Like women just don't have their head in the game for this kind of thing. This kind of like physical thing where it's like you have to overpower the other person and throw them out of the ring. You need to have like a killer mindset. You need to be like, okay. And they're just, it's actually the opposite of what this guy says here. He says women are very egoistic, which I think the word's egotistic, but egoistic relates to the philosophical idea that self-interest motivates all actions, egoism, whereas egotistic describes someone with an inflated,
Jake
boastful...
_tons sent $5 on Rumble. As a 6'5" male, I want to make some Division I athletes with these women. Save for the black female. We had a midget friend in middle school who benched 215 pounds.
That's so real. Well, Pearl is also tall, and she needs to be saved from the coal burning, so maybe you should try Pearl. Anyway, serious and competitive while the men were just having fun. It's kind of the opposite here. Like the men are like, I'm going to throw this bitch out of the ring right now, and the women are like, tee hee hee.
One, go! Come on! Yo, frick! Oh! No way! No way!
There's not really trying, which is how women are when it comes to these the contact type of sports. You just see that all the time. Anyway. That's funny. I'll say again, this one surprised me. I would have thought the woman could at least carry the dwarf faster than vice versa. But losing even that one is like kind of sad. How heavy do you think those dwarves are? How much do you think this guy weighs? 100 pounds, maybe? Anyway. Pro gets the volcano. Okay, Democrats passing messed up laws in Virginia. Democrats in Virginia have introduced a bill that discriminates against white men in government contracting. For discretionary contracts under 100K, white men are barred from even being considered unless there's literally no competition. And even then, this bill allows agencies to award contracts to women or minority-owned firms that are 5% more expensive than a bid from a white male business owner. Isn't Virginia like super white? Virginia racial. Oh, 60%? I thought it was way higher than that. 19% black? Oh, what am I smoking? Why did I think Virginia was white? It's not white at all. 19% black? I was going to say that like these types of like affirmative action laws kind of...
The Orthodoxer sent $3. I'm pretty far behind, and I heard that Josh Lee Cage was your first guest. I really like him. Me and I are friends on Twitter and Instagram. He founded Sport Drink, the best electrolyte company. He's so funny too. Love that guy.
Well, Josh Lacash unfollowed me on Twitter, so he's fucking dead to me. Fuck him. Oh, dude. I could follow you on Twitter and you never follow me, and I just think you're like a good account. But if we're mutuals and I see you have unfollowed me at some point, I'm praying on your downfall. That's like a declaration of war. There's people I'm mutuals with who I don't like at all, but I won't unfollow them because it's like, I don't know, man. It's like a sacred pact. You know, it's like people I followed a long time ago and we've just grown really far apart politically. It's like, I'm not going to unfollow them. There's a couple people I'm mutuals with because they have like big accounts and I muted them. I actually have muted some of my mutuals because their content's so bad, but I will not ever unfollow a mutual. I have done it once or twice, but usually it's because of some kind of like race traitor type of shit. Anyway, I was going to say, you know, if your population is like 96% white and you're kind of like past, I'm not saying I would ever support these bills, but I sort of understand better the mentality of like, these people are like massive minorities. We should try to help them. But it's like, that's not even the case in Virginia. Virginia Democrats introduce bill weakening punishment and sentencing rules for degrees of robbery in Virginia. Okay, so let me get this straight. Your state is 20% black and your state is 20, hold on, Eva Vladivostok, whatever her name is. Not Eva. Speaking of people I follow that have never followed me back.
So who is them? I mean, why, so clearly there is a very well-organized, very well-funded effort to eliminate the white population of Europe. I mean, because it is being eliminated and you're not allowed to notice it. You'll be punished by police and courts you pay for if you notice what's happening to your ancestors' homeland. So that's all just true. Yeah.
That's right.
Like, who is pushing this?
It's the question of all questions, right? But it seems that all of these leaders that we have, be it Keir Starmer, be it Ursula von der Leyen, be it Merz in Germany, be it Macron, they all follow the same playbook. They all say the same things, literally post the same things, you know, in their communications to the outside world. They might focus on slightly different subjects here and there, but the agenda is the same everywhere. And it's the erosion, essentially, of our borders, of our nation states, of our heritages. Right. I don't have to tell you or your audience that. We all know it. The question is, who's behind it? Honestly, you know, I don't know. I can't answer that question. But what I can tell you is that the people who are rolling out these agendas are doing it out in the open, in front of our faces, and they keep getting reelected. So
pretty disqualifying. You want to be like a pro-white activist or whatever, like a pro-European. How would she frame it? I'm for European sovereignty or something like that. You can't just call yourself pro-white. Come on, dude. Imagine you could put my brain in her body. Imagine what we could accomplish if I looked like that. I'd be getting invited on Tucker Carlson. Listen, I think blaming everything on Jews is like overly simplistic. But if you can't give Jews an honorable mention in that exact context, like, give me a break. What are we even doing? You can't mention Jews are part of the equation even when we're talking about why are white people suicidal? Like, what happened here? VTube? No. So that was a little tangent back to Virginia. Your state is 20% black, and you're going to lower the penalty for robbery. What could go wrong? They also passed amendments for abortion up to birth. So the day before you're going to give birth, you can just kill the baby. Constitutional amendment to enshrine abortion up to birth in the state constitution. And also a bill to eliminate mandatory minimum sentencing for rape, manslaughter, assaulting a law enforcement officer, possession and distribution of child pornography, and all repeat violent felonies. Man, they really know their voter base. They really know how to give their... It's like Republicans are like, can you please get rid of the illegals and stop the mass immigration? And Democrats are like, can you please make it so that we don't go to jail for child porn? I wonder which side is the good guys here. Not that I'm a big fan of the Republicans, but you know what I mean. They know their supporters well. Great minds think alike. Libs, when running for election, we just want affordable health care. Libs after election is won. No minimum sentence for rape and killing firefighters. Malicious bodily injury to law enforcement officers, firefighters, search and rescue personnel, or emergency medical services personnel. And then you see that this is crossed out because this is the change, is they're removing this line. Upon conviction, the sentence of such person shall include a mandatory minimum term of imprisonment of 2 years. So you no longer have to go to jail for 2 years if you cause malicious bodily injury to a firefighter or an EMS. The reason your comment doesn't show in the widget is because I have a team of gremlins filtering out gay comments. Everything goes through my team before it goes to the widget, and they say they have one job: is this comment gay? And if it's not gay, they let it through. So if you're wondering why it didn't show up, that's why. The GOP ran this dumb, ugly, retarded Jamaican woman. So now it's illegal for the state of Virginia to contract to white men, and there's no punishment for raping girls on the street. Yeah, wasn't there some other candidate who was kind of halfway decent? Or no, I'm thinking of a different one. I'm thinking of the Dr. Oz situation, and the other candidate was a black woman, the one who was like a better candidate. Never mind. Michelle Obama says she is mindful to try to avoid white-owned brands, and others also should. See, this is all I want is white people to think like this. And which I do, by the way. There's like a gas station I go to, and now I'm trying to avoid it because it used to be an old white guy who owned it, and now it's an Indian. And so now I try to avoid it, even though it's the most convenient for me to go to, because I know it's owned by a Jeet. This is how white people got to think. You got to think like every little thing you do matters.
If I hear of someone whose fashion that I like and I know that they're a person of color, I try to make it a point. But the clothes have to be available. Right. You know, I think we can all do some work to think about that balance in our wardrobes. You know, what does our closet look like and who's in it? Mm-hmm. Who are we supporting in it? Right. You know,
look at this one here. What in the xenomorph? What the Halle Berry? How's that song go? What the hell? What the Halle Berry? Look at that forehead. What is that? It's not xenomorphs. There's some kind of horror thing that I'm thinking of. Is it Hellraiser? What is it? Anyway.
And I think if you have the money to buy Chanel, then you have the money to buy everybody. Right. And so let us be mindful, I think would be my advice. Yeah. If I hear of someone whose fashion that I like and I know that they're a person of color, I try to make it a point. But the clothes have to be available. Right. You know, I think we can all do some work to
So it's just they're so non-whites are just so comfortable talking like this, and rather than like trying to shame them into stopping, white people just need to think the same way for their own people. A widely used homeschool curriculum posted an anti-ICE statement on their social media today. The well-trained mind. The past Thursday, a homeschool mother wrote to us from Minneapolis, "I am Asian and a U.S. citizen. Whatever you've heard on the news, it's worse. ICE is targeting people here based on their skin color. My husband is white, and he ran several errands for me this week. I try not to go anywhere alone. I carry a copy of my passport everywhere." She's not being paranoid. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe you should carry your passport with you just to be safe. But beyond that, what do you think is going to happen? You think they're going to like just put a black bag over your head and you're going to wake up in Gitmo? One day you're going to wake up in like a Saw room type situation. They're going to be like, "You want to play a game?" She is being paranoid. But on Saturday, there's a woman called into the show who is a homeschooling mother and talked about how, these homeschool groups, there's weirdos are starting to homeschool now. Everybody's homeschooling. And so you have like these polyamorous people and non-binary. She was talking about how like her kid is in like a group chat with this other kid. And the other kid reads all this like anime manga stuff and was talking about this manga or anime, and she looked into it and it's like gay, what did she say? Gay marriage rape porn anime. And then she went and talked to the mom and she's like, "Hey, I don't know if you know this, but this is like what this is about. And like, we're not with that. We don't let our kids look at stuff like that." And then the other mom got all like upset and was like telling everyone in the group that she's abusive, that she's abusing the kids because she wouldn't let her kid talk to the other kid after that. So watch out for those homeschool groups, man. Nowhere safe anymore. Liberal white woman leaves a farewell message to her mom in case she's executed by ICE in Minneapolis.
This is a message from my mom. If I am executed by ICE officers today, it will not be because of anything that I did.
You sure about that? I don't know. What sounds like you're planning to do something.
I want you to know a couple things. First, I don't carry weapons on me. Second, I won't be holding any signs. There will be no indication from me that I'm a violent person or a threat to anyone.
I'm just trying to non-violently obstruct law enforcement.
I do not plan on following anyone. I do not plan on screaming or shouting or even speaking to anyone. I am there to observe and document. This is a historical moment for me in my lifetime.
You are where? It's one thing. You want to have you're going to organize a protest, right? This is how protests used to be when I was a kid. You'd say, on Saturday, we're all going to go to this park and we're going to protest and we're going to march from here to there or whatever. And we cleared it with the city and we're going to march through the street, you know. Now, apparently protest is like people with their police scanners and their radios are going to follow ICE around as they're trying to like do their job, and then we're going to tell everybody else where they are, where we're going to tell everybody where the illegal sex offenders are so they can show up and legally observe. And it's like, this is not how protesting went when I was a kid. You weren't like, you know, it didn't require you to know where law enforcement was going to be so you could go there. That's all I'm saying.
For the state of Minnesota, and no matter what the outcome is, I believe it deserves to be documented. I believe it is my responsibility and my right to document it. Firsthand, as an observer, show what is happening in my city. I believe in the freedom and the foundations of America and the United States Constitution. I also believe in change and progress. If I am executed today by ICE officers, it will not be because of anything that I did. I'm saying this because I need you to understand what you're supporting and what you're fighting against, and possibly reconsider.
So it's all mommy issues. It's all about her not liking her mom's politics and being like, God, I hope I get killed by ICE. My mom would feel so bad. And I just have to make sure she feels extra bad if I get executed. Oh, it'd be such a shame. It'd be such a shame if ICE killed me because my mom would feel really bad if that happened. I had a tweet, by the way, about the psychosexual. I don't think it went out yet. It's in the queue. Yeah, anyway. Hold on. Watching that, it made me think of a couple other things I want to, while we're on this topic. Let me just move this down somewhere. Is this where's the will? These people, these anti-ICE protesters. Okay. FBI visited this TikToker.
So apparently everybody's decided it's time to do the big thing. I've seen folks driving down to DC. There's about 500 events planned this weekend all over the country. And everybody has decided it's fucking time. So spread the word. It's time.
Time to do the big thing.
Guys, it fucking happened. The FBI just came to my door.
I am fucking shaking.
Donald Ductator sent $5 on Rumble. Today I saw a young white lady walking with a Mexican chick. The white lady was carrying an ice out sign like a magical privilege.
Oh, God. May as well be on a leash at that point. Check out my pet white. Look at how she's like excited and smart. This is what I'm talking about. It's like secretly they're all hoping for their moment of like, oh my God, something happened to me. I'm the main character.
Guys, it fucking happened. The FBI just came to my door. I am fucking shaking right now.
You recording us now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm here because some folks in the public have expressed concerns about some posts made by a TikTok user, Mossy Matriarch.
Okay.
Is that your account?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mossy Matriarch.
So some people have expressed concerns that some of it might be inciting violence.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that? Are you trying to do that?
No.
Do you have any intent on committing violence?
Everything I've tried to post about is like, let's be as peaceful as we fucking can.
Okay.
And that's the stuff I've been.
Talking to law enforcement, bad idea. Lawyer, please. Lawyer.
Trying to encourage and stuff.
I am supportive and protective of anyone who are trying to keep things peaceful. I appreciate you saying that. Do you know of others who are attempting to incite violence?
Not off the top of my head.
Would you report someone who was doing something like that?
Not off the top of my head. There are a bunch out there. I just can't recall the names at the moment.
I mean, I have never really reported anybody for anything, really.
Okay.
I just stay out of other people's business mostly.
Even if they're supporting violence?
I mean, if someone was saying they're going to kill my neighbor or something, probably report them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about anyone who's interested in committing damage to federal buildings, county buildings, state buildings? Know anyone doing that kind of stuff?
No.
Okay. Would you report that kind of activity?
If it's not someone I know personally, I don't really care that much.
Okay. As I said, like, I'm interested in protecting First Amendment speech.
Sure.
But when someone is talking about hurting others or trying to get others to hurt people, that's where I have to go knock on doors and talk to people.
Oh, yeah.
Am I missing anything?
You support the use of political assassination to silence people you might disagree with?
No.
No. Advocate for the use of violence to...
You never celebrated Charlie Kirk getting killed or...
All right. Thank you for your time.
All right.
Have a good one.
What they don't...
I am definitely 100%.
They don't show up with any like quotes or videos. Like if you're going there, okay, so people reported her, they said she's dangerous. They don't look at her feed first and they're like, hey, is this you saying that you're glad Charlie Kirk or whatever? I don't know what she said, what the worst thing is, but that was just kind of weak. That wasn't even intimidating. You know? I was like, hey, are you violent? No. Oh, okay. Have a nice day. Why'd you even show up?
On a list now.
Damn. She's too. We were hoping she was going to admit that she's psychopathically violent and pro-crime, but she's too smart for us. Well, we tried.
We are at the point in this country where if you are exercising free speech, the FBI will show up at your door. I want to make it very fucking clear that I am not inciting violence. I'm not organizing violence. I don't know anyone making any plans to assassinate anybody or do any damage to federal property. And if I was, I probably would have had my account taken down a long time ago. With how bad the censorship is on here. I get posts taken down just for like talking about the fucking news. Me and my friends are planning economic boycotts right now. Thank you. Am I scared? No. I mean, he said he was in the business of protecting free speech, so... they really be after everybody right now. I'm a disabled single mom who owns a photography business. What am I gonna do?
Well. well. Have you guys seen that Instagram account? It's so funny, man. I've seen the joke like 70 times now, and it still doesn't get old. It's just like Like normally on the account they would say so, and then it would go look at her other Instagram and find the kid, and the kid's like half black, but still, just the fact that she is a single mom. Well.
If I end up disappearing, please look for me. If I don't post for like 2 days, look for me. And I'm not suicidal or wanting to hurt
mentally
myself or
disabled,
anyone
by the
else.
way.
I shouldn't have to fucking
We know. We saw the nose ring.
say that. I am a sociologist that just wants the best outcome for as many people.
Sociologist. These are the people who are like, here's how to structure society, and they're mentally ill and they can't structure their own family life. You know what I mean? They can't even structure their own family in a functional way. And so probably getting money from the government and that, probably not self-sufficient. And they're like, let me tell you how to fix society. I'm a mentally ill, disabled, single mom, and I'm a sociologist. Here's how to fix society.
In this fucking country is possible. And it is our constitutional right to hold this government accountable. I have never advocated for anything.
You can't even... Let me tell you how to structure society. You can't even structure your own family, lady. Already visited by the FBI, and now she's posting this.
Guys, whatever you do, do not buy roofing nails and put them in front of ice trucks or ice facility entrances and exits.
For them to actually go to their house, there had to be something there. You know what I mean? Like, they don't just show up at everybody's house who ever said anything edgy. So I just don't know why they didn't, like, press her.
Don't do that. Don't. Definitely don't put air tags in their car.
Mossy Matriarch is in Olympia. Oh, dude. Don't give them any ideas.
And follow them around to figure out where they're taking people. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's
Please
so
do not
believable,
fill
though.
Water balloons with dog poop, oil, glitter. Don't do that. Don't put boiling water on their windshields in the snow. Definitely do not give them coffee with laxatives. Don't do that. Definitely don't dress up like an ICE
Should I try to get her on the progress report?
agent. Go into a group.
I should try to get more shit libs and retarded leftists on the show. It's just like, though, you're going to play one clip and then the rest of the show is going to be an argument. But I don't know. Maybe it would be fun sometime. I always want to get Mr. Girl on the show just because he's actually like a, a creator. Mossy Matriarch on the progress report. What do you guys think?
Of ICE agents and start saying that people are imposters and getting
Maybe just her and me. Maybe just a 2-person show, so it's not like a team-up thing.
them to infight. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, well, that's the problem is I don't want people like her knowing that I live around here. That's like the last thing I need. You know what I mean? The last thing I need is these people deciding that they're going to, make my life difficult.
Do not fill spray bottles with deer piss. It's very, very stinky and does not come on.
AW. Who's that?
Don't do that. Fart sprays, don't even think about it. Don't do it. And for the love of God, whatever you do, do not put spray foam in their exhaust pipes. Don't.
You love Miss. Well, the other thing about Mr. Girl is he kind of has like interesting takes. Like he thinks in a way. He's just like a high IQ version of a shit lib, basically. Like he's a shit lib, but he's high IQ. She will laxative the fuel stop. Yeah. I just don't want to be on these people's radar in a local kind of sense.
Do that.
I don't mind talking to somebody like that, but I want them to live further away from me. I don't know. I'll think about it. Aftermath of ICE violence against a U.S. citizen.
In my car, and I got out of my car with my whistle, and I started blowing my whistle, and then they started macing us, and I didn't do anything but blow my whistle, and the officer officer punched me in the face, knocked off my glasses, and I was...
It didn't do anything, but... Okay, but why were you blowing your... I'm not saying you should get punched for blowing your whistle necessarily, but... were you reffing a soccer game? You know what I mean? Like you're there to be a nuisance. You know, if shit hits the fan, like what do you think is going to happen when you're there? Yeah, I blew my whistle. You can hear all the people fiercely blowing their whistles in the background too, which kind of makes it even funnier. Spencer, Mr. Girl debate. I don't remember that. Are you sure? Are you talking about Vincent James? Because him and Vincent James did a debate. Is that the one you're thinking of? Because I don't remember Spencer, and I would watch that if it was real. But Mr. Girl got destroyed by Vincent James, though. He didn't really come across intelligent, particularly in that debate. He got kind of destroyed.
Still whistling, and then he punched me again and knocked me down.
Spencer's like that too. Spencer's another guy who it's like he's not a shit lib, but I just like he has some really bad takes, but at least he's intelligent and interesting.
And then they arrested me.
This is the video I was thinking of when we watched that woman who's like, if I get killed by ice, it's not because of anything I did. And it's like, well, what are you doing though? Are you like fiercely blowing your whistle? Again, not that you should be shot for doing that, but like, you know, you're not just observing, you're impeding. You know what I mean? That's why you blow the whistle, is you're trying to make their lives more difficult. That's not observation. Okay. So let's not pretend. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you should die necessarily. And then you have more Will Stancil content. Linda says, what an absolute fucking madman. Linda being Emily Ukis. Here's Will Stancil tailing ice and honking at them furiously.
I got 6 cars in convoy behind me, so who knows what's about to happen here. Keep going, buddy. It's my home. Get out.
Who knows what's going to happen? Anything could happen on the Will Stancil live stream, you guys. I'm really like anti noise pollution, you know what I mean? So this just makes me hate the whistles, the honking. It just really makes me hate these people. I get angry when like motorcycles are too loud. You know what I mean? I'm very white in that way. I don't like loud noise out in public. Okay. You drive by me with like a super loud motorcycle with no muffler. I'm angry. Martin made an AI picture of him following Stancil, and Stancil thought it was real. Kind of funny. Gotta give credit where it's due, unfortunately. I didn't see it, but it sounds funny. Did we ever figure out who AW is? I missed it. I wasn't watching.
I won't do that. I'm following you. I have a constitutional right. I know you know where I live. I don't care. You go home. Where are you from? If you arrest me for following, you may as well just do it, because I'm going to keep doing it.
He is a madman. This guy's got no fear. Oh, Andrew Wilson. Yeah, thank you.
No. I have a right to do this or I don't. If I don't, you should arrest me right now.
Just say Big Papa Fascist next time and everybody will know who you're talking about.
And if I
Just say BPF.
do, stop doing this weird crap.
Somebody's got to do something. God, what a great catchphrase.
I know you.
Stancil claims the ICE drove him to his house and pointed it. That's hilarious.
Got cars behind me too. We are all over y'all.
We're all over y'all. Jeez. And there was not a pair of dry panties in the house. All right. That's the ICE stuff. Now going back to the rest of the show here, which is not going to go on too much longer. Registered sex offender kidnapped a 15-year-old girl, raped her, then dropped her off at her school.
Marlo Porter entered Superior Court using a cane, then sat and waited for his case to be called. The 51-year-old is accused of sexually assaulting a 15-year-old girl as she walked to school Wednesday.
Attempted to offer her narcotics. The survivor continued walking and the suspect forced her into his vehicle.
After the assault, investigators say Porter dropped the child off near her school. Students at San Jose High say she's a student here. The district attorney's office has also charged Porter with false imprisonment. Investigators have not said why Porter allegedly assaulted the teen Wednesday, if it was random or part of a pattern of crime.
Why? I think it was horny. Anyway, death penalty. Next. Deranged Karen thought assaulting people was okay until Sergeant Pepper showed up.
You might want to repark your car, though. I'm very. Whoa, man! Get off my stuff. Get off my. Get off. Hey! Don't touch my stuff. Man. Do not touch my stuff.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What are you doing?
You?
Don't touch my stuff again. That's what you get for putting your hands on people.
She thought she briefly looked like she briefly thought about going back and yelling at him. And she was like, "No, maybe not." Still, I don't know about this one. I don't know if I support this. Seems a bit harsh.
F around, find out.
Attitude adjusted. F around, find out. The Spencer Mr. Girl convo is real. 2.5 hours. Yeah, I might. Mr. Girl talks to Richard Spencer. This is on Old Mr. Girl on Rumble. Yeah, I might have a little Mr. Girl sesh at some point. What is the lead up to this? The problem is this starts in the middle, so she's already mad at him and getting out of his car, and I just want to know why.
You might want to park.
I'm assuming he said something.
Repark your car, though.
And obviously, like, you can't be touching people.
Whoa, man! Get off my stuff. Get off my.
She is kind of an aggressive bitch.
Don't touch my stuff.
Man.
Do not touch my stuff.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What are you doing?
You know, it's fine, I guess. Fuck her. I came on the second viewing. I came around. You know, because it's like the thing is it is like I do like old women. You know, like I don't want you to be violent to old women. I'm a simp in that way. I'm not an egalitarian, but she really was just kind of a massive bitch. I would like to know the full context. I would like to know exactly what caused the confrontation. But she really went after his phone. I mean, okay, look, here's the thing. Let me play devil's advocate for the lady a little bit. People don't like being filmed. This is the thing. It's like, yeah, you have the right to do that in public. We all know that. But it's these auditors, like somebody else mentioned, these First Amendment auditors. They do this in a way that is like really antagonistic, and I'm not really a fan. Again, I don't know exactly what happened in this situation because it's not shown, but it's very antagonistic to shove a camera in people's faces, regardless of whether or not you're legally entitled to do that.
Hypocrite on X sent $3. We call it boomer collateral damage for all they've done.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Fuck her. Fuck her, I guess. This is quite a crash out.
What have we become? Why are we here scrolling instead of getting out to the streets? I'm so serious, and I'm going to keep scrolling because honestly, nobody would join me if I got in the streets, would they? Because that's the thing, when we go to the streets, we go out the streets with our little plastic signs and we say, stop shooting people, arrest ICE. Do you think that's going to help a woman who just got shot? This is serious. This is no longer political debate online material. This is no longer wave your flag in the air in the streets material. This is civil war, revolutionary bullshit, and I'm scared to say this on the internet because I know the government's watching me, and y'all better be fucking afraid of what you're doing to your people because
Man,
we will fight back.
Wendy's.
This is our country, and we deserve to take it back from the very terrorists running it now. What have we become?
The more emotional you are, the more poignant and powerful the video is. That's how women think. A new trend on social media is to chase lone young girls in town centers, scaring the life out of them.
Helping random girls get home safely at night. Part 4.
Hey, where you running to, bro? I chill, man's not safe, bro. Get him safe. Get him safe, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of funny. It'd be even funnier if she shot him, and I wouldn't feel bad at all if she did. But of like public nuisance YouTube pranks, I've seen way less funny ones. That's all I'm saying. I'm not encouraging it. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying it's kind of funny. A little bit. You can see the humor in it. The way he's dressed up like that, the way he's like, get home safe, get home safe. And they wonder why items get locked up. It's a little funny.
Sardines in Walmart.
See, this on the other hand, this is not remotely fun. There's nothing funny about this at all. Basically, 99% of this public nuisance shit is not remotely fun. That's all I'm saying. It's kind of funny and it furthers the cause. I mean, I don't know about that. I would never do that. I would never harass people, but I'm just like, you know. You know what I mean? It'll be, one of them will get shot and then it'll be really funny. Okay, does that make you feel better? Those people are not funny at all. Perfectly sums up the mental health crisis in America. What? Do you guys understand what he said? I almost said she Almost got me there, but I caught myself. Okay, hold on. I'm turning up my headphones one more time. No, I had no idea. Some secrets must be kept close to the heart. I didn't catch the last. Hold on. Some secrets must be kept close to the heart, and sometimes you're not really there. But I don't know what the first part was. Poignant. Look at this one. Snap. He's clapping is too abrasive, so you got to do this. Good stuff happening in Los Angeles. Non-binary woman destroys her musical instrument as part of bizarre art performance. You know, I kind of get this one because I'm a racist. I understand the requisite backstory, which is this person is Asian, and Asian parents make their kids play the violin and shit, and such other such striver, high achiever activities. And so the person pulled the chain out of the violin. She pulled it out representing, you know, the slavery enforced on her by, yes, the patriarchy and her parents. And then she smashed the violin, freeing herself from the social expectations. I actually get it, but you have to be racist to appreciate art like that. You have to understand the Asian backstory part. Look at this freak, by the way. Look at this freak. Bunch of freaks. Woo! Freaks as far as the eye can see. Poignant. This guy's looks like a straight up Portlandia character. Okay. And finally, Michael Knowles says he's not a Christian Zionist. I can't close this tab and it's annoying me. Okay, whatever. Michael Knowles says he does not identify as a Christian Zionist.
The Vatican in 1985 says, the history of Israel did not end in 70 AD. It continued, especially in a numerous diaspora, which allowed Israel to carry to the whole world a witness, often heroic, of its fidelity to the one God and to exalt him in the presence of all the living, citing Tobit, while preserving the memory of the land of their forefathers at the heart of their hope. And the reference is the Passover Seder. So here, the Vatican is writing not about the church as the new Israel, which is what Christians have always held, but is writing specifically about the terrestrial and figurative Israel of the Jews. He's saying, you know, the Jews went all about this world. They didn't just end in 70 AD, and they've carried this witness, which is often very heroic, and they do have some connection to the land. However, here's the key. Christians are invited to understand this religious attachment, which finds its roots in biblical tradition, without, however, making their own any particular religious interpretation of this relationship. And then, just to underscore the point, the existence of the state of Israel and its political options should be envisaged not in a perspective which is in itself religious, but in their reference to the common principles of international law.
Right. So this is the Catholic Church saying that the state of Israel is not some kind of biblical prophecy that Christians need to support and respect. Based in rare Catholic W by the sounds of it.
Bingo. Love this. This is exactly what the patriarchs are reaffirming from Jerusalem, and it's totally right. And this is why I would not call myself a Zionist or a Christian Zionist or any other kind of Zionist. It's not because I don't like the Jews, and it's not because I don't even support the state of Israel. As I think I've made clear, I am broadly supportive of the nation state of Israel.
Cringe. Cringe. Why? What do they do that's so great, Michael? Because I can list like a bunch of things, a bunch of bad things that they've done. What's the good stuff? What is the good part? Name one.
But I am broadly supportive of it, not because I believe in the principles of Zionism, which makes certain historical claims and religious claims that I just don't think are true.
Literally name one. You could probably point to like some inventions that aren't horrific that came out of Israel, but that's not even like the state, you know what I mean? That's just Jewish people in those cases.
True. I don't think that the Jews are entitled to the Holy Land because of some religious premise. I don't think that's true. In fact, being Christian, I believe that the Old Testament is fulfilled in the New Testament. Christ is the new covenant, the fulfillment, everything that was typified.
I got to send this to my mother-in-law, though, because we briefly had this conversation, and I was shocked to learn that she thinks that Israel is like, when the Bible says those who bless Israel, she thinks that means the nation state of Israel that was founded in 1946 or whatever year it was. I'm going to send her this clip because she respects people like Michael Knowles more than she would listen to me.
In the Old Testament is fulfilled in Christ and the
she was like, yeah, I've heard all those arguments about the church as Israel. I don't agree. I was like, oh.
Church as the new and spiritual Israel. So I don't buy those religious premises, and I don't believe just because a people was on a plot of dirt 2,000 years ago that means they're entitled to it today. If that were the case, we'd have to turn the Black Hills we'd have to turn Mount Rushmore over to the Lakota Sioux. I don't believe any of that. And yet, I am broadly supportive of the nation state of Israel because I don't like the alternatives. I don't like the idea of giving Iran more power in the Holy Land. I don't think the Muslims have been particularly protective of the holy sites. Sometimes they've been better than others, but the Ottoman Empire doesn't exist anymore. The current options in the Holy Land are not great, and we're not.
Honestly, that's like a reasonable argument. That is like, okay, if you're looking at it from the perspective of like these are holy sites that need to be preserved, then somebody has to be there to stop it all from getting desecrated and destroyed. That's reasonable. But what if we did that? What if we just did a holy Christian crusade where Christians took over the Holy Land? You know what I mean? Because putting aside the holy site aspect and all that, I don't give a fuck about the Middle East. Let them fight. I don't care. But I will admit that, yeah, as a Christian, maybe we should try to preserve those special sites.
Probably not reestablishing Baldwin's kingdom anytime soon. So as a practical political matter, then also on the point of international law, the Jews were bequeathed some of this territory by the British Empire, which
so the problem for anti-Zionists or people like me, anti-Semites, it's not even about anti-Semitic, it's about hating Israel. The problem for people who hate Israel is that, as Michael Knowles points out, all the other options are also terrible. That's really the problem. It's just everybody over there just sucks.
Control of it after the Ottoman Empire. They then had a declaration from the United Nations purporting to advance international law, and they fought a war of conquest. So any way you slice it, it seems to me that according to the current nation state system, they basically have a right to it. But crucially, that is not Zionism. And it doesn't imply anything as a matter of biblical prophecy for the modern nation state of Israel. You can support Israel. If you want, you don't have to support the nation state of Israel, but if you do, you can do so without adhering to the relatively novel theology of Christian Zionism. You can like the Jews. I love the Jews. I grew up in New York. I'm very philo-Semitic, okay? If you told me if I had to make a choice between hanging out and eating a pastrami sandwich with the guys who make pastrami sandwiches and eating shawarma with the guys who make shawarma, I'm taking the pastrami sandwich.
See, again, that's hard to argue with. I'm inclined to agree. I know I'm not supposed to say that. I know I'm going to lose my cred, but it's like, I think about this stuff in the context of the island experiment too that I mentioned in my racism video. There's a lot. If it's like a choice between an island full of Jews, there's a lot of choices where I'm picking the Jews. You know, to live. You know what I mean? You want to live with Indians or Jews? Jews, please. Like, I'm just being honest. There's a lot of choices. If you frame it that way, if you frame it as like you got to choose one or the other, there's a lot of cases where it's like, okay, I guess I'm going to live with the Jews, or I guess I'm going to hang out with the Jews because the other option is way worse. That's just real.
Sandwich one.
The only argument for living with like Indians is they're so physically weak, you could just become like the warlord god emperor of the island and have a harem of Indian sex slaves. But I'm not really interested in that. I'd rather just like live with the Jews. Yeah. Jews rock. No, you can't say neither. That's a cop-out. It's a thought experiment. Okay. You don't have to. This is the thing. I'm not saying you have to like Jews. Okay. You could just not like all of them. But I'm just saying when he frames it that way, it's like, yeah, it's tough to argue with.
100 out of 100 times, okay? Maybe 999 out of 1,000 times. I'm going with the pastrami sandwich. You can be philo-Semitic and not adhere to the relatively novel ideology of Christian Zionism. That's clearly what the patriarchs of Jerusalem are saying. Anyone suggesting that this is a break with tradition or anti-Semitic or anything like that, I think is just totally insane.
All right. Well, that could have been a lot more based, but whatever. At least it's theologically correct. So small, non-capitalized W, I guess. Okay, you guys, that's going to be the show. Progress report tomorrow with Gypsy Crusader and Lily Gaddis. Should be a good time. So check that out. You guys have a good day. I will catch you on the flip side. Peace out.